All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, Barakatah. All right, so I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. Also want to acknowledge all of the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity on the streets of Babylon. All right, and also on the videos in Babylon. So, day before yesterday, I was in Matthew 24. I'm going to go ahead and continue where we left off. This is going to be Matthew 24 and 22. I'm going to read it again. It says, "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. For the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." All right, because Yahweh is going to bring great tribulation to Babylon, America, and the planet Earth. So, so great that, he has to shorten the days, and it's for the elect's sake that he's doing that, all right? If the elect weren't in this world right now, starting out with the prophets, Yahweh would just destroy this place, But he does have a remnant that he preserved since the beginning, all right? So he's going to shorten the days of this martial law, of this Jacob's trouble that we're about to enter into underneath this Edomite. And, these days are going to be shortened for the elect's sake, all right? I'm going to move to 23. "Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Yahushai, or there, believe it not. All right? For there shall arise false Yahushais and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." All right, so this devil, he's going to be so tricky, with his schemes and with his crafty counsel, that he's going to trick everybody. And it would, if it was possible, he would even trick the elect, all right, meaning the prophets of Israel. Yahweh has saved a remnant of Israelite men to teach you this truth. That's why we're coming in a different direction and a different doctrine than what you've been taught your whole life. All right, because all of these false Yahushais, and I should just say false Messiah, because it's Jesus Christ who is the false Messiah. Yahushai is the true Messiah of the scriptures, who was a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah. All right, but let's go into this. I'm going to go to Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, and precept. You're going to go 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and we'll start at 9. It says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, and with all power and signs and lying wonders." This is talking about the so-called white man, the Edomite, right? And we're going to prove it. Verse 10, "And with all deceivableness of the unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved." All right? Verse 11, "And for this cause Yahweh shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie." All right? And what is that lie that the majority of the world is believing? All right? Well, let's pull it up. This is the lie right here. One of the lies. And this is a big lie. Blasphemy was what it is. It's this image right here, So let's go read that verse again. Verse 11, "And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie." So when we go to this image of Jesus, this is a strong delusion, on the people of Israel and also the world. Okay. Oops. This phone been acting up a little bit lately. So that's that lie, that strong delusion that's on them. All right, let's go back to Matthew 24, and we'll go to 25. So, the elect, if it was possible, they would even deceive the elect, but it's not possible because Yahweh has preserved us. So we're coming with this these lessons and these teachings, telling you, hey, this is the lie that you've been taught, and that it's a strong delusion on your mind, because a lot of people get offended when you tell them that Jesus Christ is a demon. Verse 25, behold, I have told you before, wherefore if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth, behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Because he's going to come with great glory and power on the chariot, the so-called UFO. Verse 28, for whosoever the carcass is there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. All right, and why is the sun not going to give her light, and why are the moon is not going to give her light? It's because of the nuclear missiles. Yahweh Shai comes right after the missiles get shot to the ends of the earth. Because he's going to come and gather his elect. He's going to save Yahweh's elect, all right, who are the prophets, and the 1/3 of Israel who believes the truth that we're giving you, on these street corners and on these videos. The rest of the world is going to be shaken, and, they're going to suffer in that darkness, in that dark day of wrath. And, when those missiles start hitting, they're going to turn upside down, inside out. The dirt is going to be, the impact of those missiles is going to cause the earth and the dirt to be all up in the atmosphere. You won't be able to see. That's why the sun's going to be blocked out. That's why the moon's going to be blocked out. Let's go to. There's a verse that says that they shall grope like a blind man in noonday, meaning, they're going to feel their way around like a blind man because they won't be able to see. And it's going to be at noonday, meaning middle of the day, when the sun is at its peak. Go to Isaiah 13 and 10. Let's see. All right, so Isaiah 13 and 10, it says, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And we know that the proud is the Edomite. You can't get no prouder than an Edomite on planet Earth. Let me see real quick, see if I can find that precept. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is Obadiah. And if we start at verse 1, it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And who the Lord's going to rise up against battle is Edom, the Edomites. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Because the word heathen means nations, and all the heathen despise the white man. Just look at the news. Here it is, verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set the nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith Yahweh. All right, so that shows you who exalts himself as the eagle. It's America. All right, the Edomites, that's their bird. Their national bird is the eagle. All right, and they're proud. That's what I was telling you. In verse 3, it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. So now we go back to Matthew. Well, actually, where was I? Isaiah 13 and 10. Yeah, okay, we say verse 11, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right, and Ophir was a trading block. That's where they used to trade, goods and provisions. Basically, like a modern day Panama Canal, where they traded, all the nations in those days. So the proud to cease, that's in verse 11. And we just proved who the proud were. Those are the Edomites, all right? So let's go back to Matthew 24 and verse 30. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And this is right after that sun gets blocked out, right after that moon gets blocked out. The sign of the Son of Man is in heaven, and then shall the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. All right, and what are those clouds? Those are those chariots. Yahweh Shai is coming back on a chariot with power and great glory. Power dealing with like the horsepower. That's why they say he'll come back on a horse, because those chariots are super fast, and when you have a fast car in the world where they say it's got a lot of horsepower, well, that's why a lot of people mistake this parable, and they say he's coming back riding a horse. No, he's coming back riding that chariot, because how is a horse going to be up in the sky, a real horse? No, it's a parable. Let's go. Revelation 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So he's coming on those chariots, those clouds, and let's go to it just to prove to you again, in case you forgot what a cloud is in the Bible. It's sometimes referred to as a chariot. Psalms 104:3. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walk upon the wings of the wind. All right. So Yahweh makes the cloud his chariot. All right. That's why we know those are chariots they're talking about in that verse. Okay. So, and then when you read the middle of this verse, it says, every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. So who pierced him? It was the Romans, right? The Edomites. So we know that the Roman Edomite is the one who crucified the Messiah, and the 2/3, which were his own people, were chanting, crucify him, crucify him. Those were his own people, the Jews, who were under those false doctrines in Rome. All right. So now we're going to go back to Matthew 24, and we'll go to 31. Excuse me. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other. So there's that trumpet. Everyone's going to hear that trumpet. It's going to be terrifying to the nations and to the people who are the inhabitants of the earth, because they're going to look up and see a bunch of chariots, a bunch of so-called UFOs. They're going to be scared. Let's see, Matthew. That's why it says, and he shall send his angels and a sound of a great trumpet, or sound of a trumpet, and they'll gather together his elect. All right, so he's not coming to get everybody like these Christians tell you. We're reading right here, he tells you he's gathering his elect from the four winds. And the four winds is the north, east, west, south, right? Meaning every corner of the earth. That's why they call it the corner of the earth, because it's dealing with the north, east, west, south. Because why? Because all the Israelites are scattered among every nation, and the prophets are coming from every nation in the world, where they've been scattered. All right. Let's see. Let's go back. Matthew 13:41. And it says, the Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them in the furnace of fire, and they shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. So why are they going to be gnashing their teeth? Is because, hey, when you gnash your teeth, you be angry, right? You're scared. It's wailing, meaning like crying. This is every tribe on the planet Earth. So now let's go to 1 Corinthians for the precept. 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. And it says, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. All right, and let me jump up to the top, verse 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. Dealing with the prophets and his elect. And the 1/3 will be changed. All right, the 1/3 who believes the prophets. Verse 53. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Meaning in this day, we're going to lose these fleshly, weak bodies. We're going to inherit our heavenly bodies in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, like we read. All right, now I'm going to go to First Thessalonians. We're going to go to 4. We're going to read 16 through 18. It says, for the Lord himself shall descend from the heaven with a shout, and with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. And the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. So the dead prophets who have already died in this truth are going to rise first. Okay. Verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. This is our salvation we're reading about, right? And you can't have salvation if you're still calling on Jesus Christ. Yahushua is the true Messiah. That's huge, man. You can't call on the wrong name in the day of destruction, in the day of wrath, when the last trumpet goes off, Now you really got to coach your mind, because right now you go sit down to pray, and who pops up in your head? It's that fake image, that Caesar Borgia will pop up in your head. You got to break yourself of that. Matthew 24, we start at 32. And it says, now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putting forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when ye shall see all the things, know that it is near, even at the doors. And what is this talking about? It's talking about all these signs of the end, which we're seeing it, We're coming into Jacob's trouble. We're already in martial law. The United States government has basically shut down the nation and getting ready to, what it looks like is, they're going to start FEMA camps soon. When you see all that and the microchip gets pushed, hey, know that the end is nigh. We're not in a time to be bullshitting right now. Right now, you should be on fire with this truth. 33. So likewise, ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily, I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. All right, so all these prophecies will be fulfilled before this world will end. And we're seeing the prophecies unfold. 2020 is the year of prophecy, coined by the elder apostle Tahar, and he did a video yesterday talking about how, hey, he couldn't have been more on with that title for this year, the year of prophecy 2020. Matthew 16:28. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. All right, so that shows you that, hey, some of us are not going to die, man. We're going to go right from this weak fleshly body up into a chariot. All right, that's what we're reading about, right? We're reading about our salvation and reading about the signs of the end. All right, let's go to, oops, I keep hitting the wrong button. Back to Matthew 24:35. And it says, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. So meaning this truth is forever, man. This is the only thing that's forever, is the word of Yahweh. All right. Even heaven and earth are going to pass away, but the words won't, because there's going to be a new earth and a new heaven. And that word new means refresh. So it's really just going to be refreshed. Okay. The earth and the heavens, they'll be refreshed. When you go into that word new, it means refreshed. All right. Let's read Psalms. And we're going to go to 102 and verse 26. It says, they shall perish, but thou shalt endure. Yeah, all of them that wax old like a garment, as a vesture shalt thou change them, and they shall be changed. All right. But thou art the same, and thy years shall have no end. The children of thy servants shall continue, and their seed shall be established before thee. So that's dealing with the prophets, the 1/3, There's a special blessing that we will have. Because some of us don't have to die, man. I'm telling you. Because we're going to go directly from this earthly body into our heavenly body in a twinkling of an eye, according to the scriptures. Oops. Verse 18, Matthew 5:18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. All right. So the jot deals with it's the smallest letter in the alphabet, or the shortest letter in the alphabet in the Hebrew. I looked it up. Apostle Tahar looked it up, and then I couldn't remember what it was, so I looked it up again last night, and that's what that jot is. So he's just telling you that, hey, even everything that has to do with this truth is going to, be fulfilled. Not one part of this truth is going to be skipped, not even the smallest part. All right, it's all going to be fulfilled. All right, so let's go back to Matthew 24, and now we're on 36. It says, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So even the angels don't know when the last day is or when this is going to happen. Not even Yahweh Shai knew, That's reserved for the Heavenly Father, Yahweh only, to know that. But like he said, we do have signs, And the signs, just like he said, when you can tell when summer's coming, or you can tell when this end is coming. And we are in those signs. This year of prophecy has been a Yapah year, which means beautiful, Yapah. It's been a beautiful year. It's beautiful to see the prophecies coming forth, This is Acts 1:7. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power. But ye shall receive power after all that the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. So the prophets are going to receive spiritual powers, man. when we get those heavenly bodies, we're gonna be like the angels, but even greater than the angels, and we're gonna be able to come back and hunt down these elite. They're going to be these wicked elite of Esau, Edom. They're going to be the first slaves in our kingdom. They're going to get tormented. Man, Esau, Edom is going to hate the kingdom. The kingdom of Yahweh is detrimental to the Edomite. Let's go back to Matthew 24:37. But as in the days of Noah, meaning Noah's Ark, the same Noah from Noah's Ark, but as in the days of Noah, where so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. All right, so it's just like when Noah's time is going to be the same. Let's go to this real quick. Because people don't believe, and they didn't believe in Noah's day. They didn't believe when he was telling them the earth was going to be flooded. And they don't believe us either, That's why it says, but as in the days of Noah. Let's see, Luke 17, and we're going to go to 26. And it says, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. All right, so during Noah's time, what were they doing? They didn't believe Noah that he was telling them the earth was going to be flooded. Now they were like, no, we're going to go get married. We're going to eat. We're going to go get something to drink. We're going to party. We're going to live it up. And that's what you see right now, man. You see, like if you see people right now getting married, well, this isn't the time to get married, man. This is, we're coming to the end. You get married right now, you're foolish. You have no wisdom. We're not in the time to be doing that, Matthew 24:38. All right, so it says, for as in the days of, this is speaking of Noah, that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. All right, actually, let's stay. Matthew 22:30. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as angels of Yahweh in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by Yahweh, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, and the God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. All right? So, meaning dead to this truth. People who are dead to this truth, he's not your God, man. And if you're still calling on all those false images, then you are dead to the truth, man. And you're part of the problem. You're going to be part of the destruction that is coming to Babylon, America. Matthew 24, we're going to 39. It says, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right? Because if you don't believe this truth and you just keep, you rather go get married and live it up, then you're going to be a casualty in the last end. All right? Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. All right? Meaning those chariots aren't going to pick everybody up, man. The UFOs, the so-called UFOs, they're not going to pick everybody up. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, and one shall be taken and the other left. All right? And that word grinding goes into work. You're going to be working. And even people in today's world, they say, hey, I gotta go grind today. I'm back at the grind, same thing. 2 women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what the hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not suffered his house to be broken up. So that's the benefit of studying this truth and learning these parables and this doctrine, because we are able to prepare for the coming of our Savior, Hamashiach, Yahushai. All right, verse 44. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not the Son of Man cometh, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season. Meaning you're faithful, wise servant if you're preparing your family and your people for this. All right, you're warning them. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. So you're going to be blessed, man. When the prophets, you're teaching this truth, like you're feeding the flock, you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to be blessed. And what's that salvation? What is that blessing? It's taken up in a so-called UFO and avoiding the destruction. 47. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. Verily means truly. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of. All right, so you don't believe this truth, you just put it off, you don't warn the people, you don't teach the people the Bible. Well, hey, you're not going to be ready for when he comes back, and you're going to be, like I say, part of the destruction. 51. And shall cut him asunder, that means in half, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites, and there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So you're going to regret it, in other words. If you don't hearken to the truth, if you don't listen to the prophets, if you don't prepare for the coming of Yahushai, Bahashim Yahushai, the Hamashiach, you're gonna regret it, man. And it's gonna be too late, though. You can't change up, when he's in the sky, coming with great power and glory with the chariots. Hey, that's the time you're gonna need to call on Yahushai. And they know the chariots who are the angels. The word angel means messenger, and they basically report everything, and they document everything that happens on earth, and they know who they got to pick up, and they know who they got to kill or destroy. They know who they got to save. Matter of fact, we go to camps, and we've seen, and there's not just our camp, but there's other camps of GMS who have seen the chariots, while we're at camp. So we always say, hey, they know who we are, They know who's pushing his truth. It's going to be an easy deliverance for those chariots to pick us up, But with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth in Babylon. Shalom to the elect.